games back-to-back where the Canucks haven't really played all that well, and I'm curious to hear what Rick Tocchet has to say about this one. What type of game do we see from Vancouver? Because they didn't play great against Arizona, and Tocchet was not pleased, right? They find a way to win. Demko plays hard. You guys mentioned the structure. And hey, you win a hockey game, nobody's going to be mad in terms of the coaches. I know fans are not happy, but they're not going to be mad that you found a way to win this game. But what type of response do we see from the team tomorrow? Because now a couple of games back-to-back where they haven't had the same level of play that we saw during that 5-game winning streak.
I'd like to see them be more of the team that we saw during the 5-game win streak. And against a team like Anaheim, you should be able to control most of the night, just like we saw a couple of weeks ago when they beat Anaheim on home ice. It's not a very good team. You should have an easier time breaking the puck out of your own end. Part of my, leniency on the performance is, I think the LA Kings are a really good hockey team, and I sort of expected that they would own the shot clock tonight against a Vancouver team that's depleted on the back end and is missing a couple of key forwards through their lineup. They're not at full strength. They're clearly, playing towards the end of the season, but it's tomorrow night against an Anaheim Ducks team. I'm expecting a much more complete.
Vic was joking about no Tyler Myers tonight means zero chaos, and then the chaos started ensuing after Vic mentioned it. It was almost on cue. It was like he was trying to create chaos, and the game was too bored, so he wanted to manufacture some on social media. But I'd say what you're seeing in a game like this, right? And when we talk about the structure and everything, they don't have a lot of players who can move minutes, right? As much as Cal Burrows, he had a bit of a tough night, and Will Landon showed well. You see when these guys are asked to do more, and now we're seeing more and bigger sample as games go on for these guys playing elevated minutes and playing NHL minutes, and it's going to get tougher and tougher. I think part of the reason we're seeing this fall off is the Canucks have a lot of AHL guys in this lineup right now, a lot of young guys who maybe aren't quite ready for what they're doing even at this stage. I mean, half the roster is probably not an NHL roster in terms of you trying to be a contender next season. I think we all kind of agree with that. Now I'd be catching up with them slightly here as the games go on.
Yeah, for sure. Of the defensemen, Willanen, Burrows, and Juleson, and even Brisebois, I really think Juleson was the one that acquitted himself best again tonight. And I know we were wondering who might, come out of the lineup for Ethan Bear as he returned. At the time, we didn't know it was going to be Tyler Myers out with, I know as you mentioned, Sad, a suspected maybe illness, but Noah Juleson continues to play well. And there was moments where I liked how he continued to impose a bit of a physical presence on the back end for the Vancouver Canucks. A couple of big hits and big collisions with Carl Grundstrom. A couple of good pinches as well at different points. Noah Juleson playing next to Quinn Hughes, so it's sort of a big assignment, but I continue to like what I see from this player.
Reach, great stuff calling the game alongside Batch, and I look forward to having you back in the saddle for pregame tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you boys tomorrow.
You got it. That is Dan Riccio calling the game alongside Brandon Batchelor tonight. Canucks win in a shootout 3-2 over the Kings. It's Satira Shaw with Vic Nazar. Keep your thoughts coming in to our Dunbar Lumber text inbox 650-650. You can also grab a phone line 604-280-0650 or toll free 1-888-275-0650. Now, before we go to the phone boards here, Vic, what's popping on the Dunbar Lumber text inbox?
Oh boy, 650-650 into the Dunbar Lumber text message inbox. This one, can we all say it together? Demko! As much as talking has made a difference, in my opinion, I think he's a great coach. Thatcher Demko is the real deal. That one is from Torgi, and this one from Matt in Toronto. That looked like a chess match between two people who had never played chess prior to today.
That's a great text. Jokes for 60 coming in.
That's one of the best description of this.
That's really good.
It was slow.
Yes.
I'm not even sure if methodical was the right word, because it felt like, LA obviously was the better team tonight. There's no dispute of that. And still, I didn't feel like LA was really pushing the tempo as much as they could. Nice flurry at the start of the third period. Obviously, Demko makes a save at the left post. But realistically, did it feel like LA ever deserved a third goal?
No. I mean, you know what? I wouldn't say deserved for a third goal. They were more deserving than Vancouver to have multiple goals. Let me put it that way. They were deserving to get multiple goals. The Canucks were.
They were the better team. They deserved to get 2 points.
Yeah.
But at any point, did you feel like LA was running away with this game?
It wasn't wasn't onslaught after onslaught. It was kind of methodical. It was kind of gradual over time. Chances kind of developed. And there were a number of chances in that second period. I mean, there were 2 breakaway opportunities, a penalty shot.
The second period was like their chance, but again, they didn't put it away. They actually had a 1-1.
Well, that's where Demko's good on. I mean, to me, it's where Demko's a difference there, right? Like he makes a bunch of big stops on the odd man chances, the breakaway chance. They're trying to get too fine with their shots, and Demko kind of gets me. You turn to get 1 point. Is Demko getting in their heads? I mean, there's a time he was down and out, and he's outside, and the Kings didn't know what to do. It's like you make 1 pass, that's going to be a goal. Instead, the guy shoots it right to his pass.
But in a game where they took 40 shots on goal, and then they had a total of 77 shot attempts. So I'm doing my math correctly here. 77 shot attempts. We're talking about a 10-minute stretch, 12-minute stretch in the second period, where it's like that was their chance. Not 60 minutes. We're talking about a 12-minute stretch in the third. That's really about it from the LA Kings. So if I'm judging both teams on the performance tonight, it's like a 6 out of 10 for the Kings, and probably like a 4 out of 10 for the Canucks.
I think that's too close.
Sure, okay. But 3 out of 10 for the Canucks?
Yeah, I'd say like maybe 4 for them, maybe a 6-7, maybe for LA 6.5. I mean, I thought LA they play that game most of the time. They probably win. Right? Like they probably win that game.
I also deserve winning. Were they good at it? Yeah. Like 7 out of 10 is pretty.
Yeah, it's okay. It's alright.
That's my math score. I was pretty good in high school at 7 out of 10.
We'll take the B-. Why not? 70%. And a lot of reaction on text inbox 650 just in the Coots. This process and structure sure looks a lot like it has under the previous coaches. Demko steals meaningless games that rack up enough points to be counterproductive and get a mediocre pick. So they don't work hard during the summer because they think they have it figured out. Sure, the metrics might be better, but not enough to make up for the eye test that's just in the Coots. And I mean, no doubt that the last few games it has changed. Like they haven't played as well process-wise. We saw it even against the Coyotes, and even before this winning streak kind of came to an end, they were showing some signs of getting away with it for a couple of games, even against Dallas a little bit, and even at times against Ottawa early on, where it rings off the goalpost. Demko makes a few big saves and everything. But I would say that we are seeing things that are different than what we saw last year. But to Just's point, none of that will really matter unless you put in the work in the offseason. We come back to next season, like we said so many different times, and these things have sunk in. Because otherwise, it is very much meaningless.
Yeah, and a lot of that isn't going to get confirmed until next year. And look, if we're relying on the eye test and all that, and look, I'm pro the eye test and everything like that, I'd also compare the defenses, right? Like last year, end of season, it was essentially Hughes, Ekman-Larsson, Dermott, Myers, and Luke Shan, all in the lineup. Okay, so there's a Brad Hunt game in there, probably, I'm sure, but by and large, like you had those 5 guys. Tonight, it was Quinn Hughes, Burrows, Juleson, Ethan Bear, Will Lannon, and Breezeball. So you have to consider that as part of the equation as well.
Their number 2 defenseman was a player who was not getting into the Carolina Hurricanes lineup for the first 12 games of the season.
And it was his first game back as well from a very...
And he's actually done well since being acquired.
Severe injury.
Yeah, he's done well and everything, but the point being, you could make the case that the Canucks don't have a single defenseman outside of Quinn Hughes who would play every day for a contender.
And they didn't get hemmed in, but their main option to get the puck out of the zone was by any means necessary.
And that's why, like, if you can play structured hockey with better players or personnel, could you look better? Can you be more productive? And that's one of the things we want to see. And I know a big question now is, what's the status of Philip Perona? Because I think we all want to see him and see what he looks like when he gets into the lineup. That still seems to be a bit away. Maybe when the Canucks come back from this road trip, we get a bit of a clearer indication of where that's all headed. But like we mentioned before, Oliver Ekman-Larsson is going to come back at some point in time this season. And ultimately, the blue line you're seeing, as much as these guys have equipped themselves well and worked hard and we say a lot of positives, this is not an NHL blue line. People even said it's not an NHL blue line when the Canucks have all their guys healthy in terms of being a competitive NHL blue line. And it kind of is what it is. It's remarkable how well Thatcher Demko's played between the pipes, however. Keep your thoughts coming into our text inbox, 650, like this one here from William and Langley. Not the most stellar performance from this team overall. It was a boring bubble type of game where Demko ends up stealing 2 points. Even Kuzmenko was boring to watch tonight. What was the deal with Myers? I hate to say it, but I missed our beloved chaos giraffe. That's William and Langley. We'll get official word, but what we kind of heard was he wasn't feeling well, and that's why he didn't play in this game, Vic.
Yeah, and 650. Keep coming in with the text message, William, and like Leroy, you just read that one. Also, a lot of frustrated texts coming in. It's like it's the same thing all over again, winning late in the season. Unsigned text here. I know Besser scored, but performance was pitiful. Doesn't skate, stands around, just his overall performance lackluster and slow.
Yeah, a bit of everything in the text inbox. All right, we'll get to more of your text messages. We are going to hear from Canucks players and the coach post-game as soon as that becomes available to you. 604-280-0650 or toll-free 1-888-275-0650. Let's go to Maple Ridge where our friend Gary is on the line. Gary, thanks for calling in. What do you have for us tonight?
I can't believe I'm the first caller.
Yeah, you got in early today, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna be on the positive side for a change.
Okay.
We happen to have Demko, 40 shots on goal, and he looked like he was pretty doggone good. Now, I'm not sure if you saw a game between Boston had their goaltender had 56 shots on goal, and I think one went in. Well, that's what Demko does. Now, second thing, Quinn Hughes, not a bad defenseman, and when I say not bad, he isn't a car to go with. Now, I was talking to your producer, and I said something about Miller. Now, that shootout goal, how many people could do that? He doesn't jump up and down like Kuzmenko does, like Kuzmenko is Kuzmenko, but frankly, that is what a power, remember what I said, power forward does. When he gets the puck, even in the overtime, you can't get it. And he stands there, he figures it out. We have got a good team for right now. We need lots of pieces. But your listeners, if you look at Pedersen, Quinn Hughes, Patrick Demko, Kuzmenko, and Miller, that's not bad to start with. We're not Boston,
Right.
but it's fun to watch.
Getting closer. Yeah. Hey, Gary, great stuff as always. Thanks for calling in. We're up against the break here. Keep your thoughts coming into our Dunbar Lumber text inbox 650-650, 604-280-0650 or toll-free 1-888-275-0650. Canucks victors 3-2 in a shootout in LA against the Kings. The first of a back-to-back tomorrow in Anaheim against the Ducks. We'll talk about that and more. Plus, we'll hear from Canucks players and the head coach post-game as the show goes on the home of your Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Want to be certain your rental goes right? Start with Pro Materials with Certainty Drywall. It's fire resistant, water resistant, super durable, or soundproof and top quality insulation. Ceiling systems, premium shingles, and siding. Do it right. Professional grade building materials from Certainty. Pro all the way.
Start back at zero. That ain't gonna happen.
Wednesdays on FX and City TV Plus.
It's not so hard to build an empire. You need to know exactly who we different. You don't want to do this. Wrong answer. It's not easy. Not knowing who you can trust. Franklin is going to war. Man's here.
Snowfall, the final season. Wednesdays on FX and City TV Plus. Available with Prime Video channels. A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is you. But to get an honest day's work,